The stench of burnt flesh clung stubbornly to the walls. Machines hummed, matching the rhythm of her failing body. My daughter lay swathed in bandages, her face a distorted map of agony. I wanted to hold her, but even my shadow might harm her now. The detective's words were flat, almost rehearsed. "We don't know why the fire started." My wife excused herself, hurrying off to meet the lawyers. Her heels clicked down the sterile corridor, quick, eager, too eager. I stayed behind. I leaned closer, adjusting the sheets, pretending I still had a role to play as a father. Then it happened. Something hard pressed against my hand beneath her gown. A small fireproof safe key, edges melted slightly with a tag. "Dad, if you're reading this, the safe is in the floor of my closet." My breath caught. I looked at her chest, rising in shallow, labored breaths. My daughter, my child. Even like this, she was trying to tell me something, and I already knew. I wasn't supposed to find it. That night I drove home alone. I moved through her room quietly, as though she were still asleep beneath the posters on her walls. The closet floor gave way with little resistance. I pulled out the safe, turned the key. Inside, photographs. Stacks of them. My wife, another man, their smiles, intimate and private, the softness she never gave me. Letters followed. Plans, promises, weekends stolen while I was away. And worse, copies of financial transfers. My daughter's college fund, my accounts bleeding into offshore holdings. Her neat handwriting confirmed everything she had known, everything she had hidden. I sat on the floor until morning, motionless. Not crying. Not moving. Just letting the truth seep into me like poison into bone marrow. It wasn't the affair that hollowed me out. Not even the theft. It was the note my daughter left in the safe. "Dad, she wanted me gone." The weeks that followed passed in quiet, no one questioned. My wife assumed I was consumed by grief from the accident. She mistook my detachment for despair. But I was watching, listening. Her phone buzzed late at night. She silenced it quickly. Her laptop shut the moment I entered. Her eyes lingered on me, measuring, suspicious, but only briefly. I pretended to crumble. Skipped work. Let my beard grow. Sat in the kitchen staring at empty cups. To her, I seemed harmless. In reality, I was building a ledger. I copied calls, stored emails, downloaded bank statements she thought were hidden. Every trace of her betrayal filed and cataloged under my control. Always in the back of my mind, my daughter's broken voice, imagined but insistent. She wanted me gone. At night, I rehearsed my stillness, my restraint. The day would come when her performance collapsed, and I would not raise my voice when it did. It came on a Thursday. The DNA results arrived, confirming what the photos and timing suggested. My daughter was not mine. I held the paper for a long while, then folded it neatly, slid it into an envelope and placed it on the dining table. When she came home, she saw it immediately. "What's this?" she asked. I said nothing. She opened it, her face draining of color as she read. Lips parted, searching for words, excuses, lies. I held my gaze steady, calm, unflinching. "You don't understand," she whispered. I did perfectly. The silence between us weighed heavier than any scream could. The next morning, I visited the lawyers before she could. I handed over every file, every transaction, every stolen fund, every proof of her affair. I dismantled her life, cataloged it, and gave it to them. When she arrived, frantic, expecting to control the narrative, she was met with cold precision. I sat across from her, not as husband, not as enemy, just as witness. Her voice broke. "You can't do this to me." I tilted my head. I already had. She wept, begged, reached for my hand. I didn't flinch. The woman who set fire to my world watched it burn in her own hands. Now the house is quiet. My daughter's room untouched, frozen in the echo of her laughter. I stand there sometimes, not to grieve but to remember, to honor the only truth that mattered. She tried to erase me. She tried to erase us. But in the end, her secrets buried her. I feel no rage now, no sorrow. Only clarity. The truth has weight and I place it squarely on her shoulders. I walk away lighter. And when I think of her face crumbling, her empire collapsing, her silence screaming louder than words, I finally understand what it means to be free.